英雄校の悪名役か。ひどい罰は受けていないようでよかった。別に噛みついたりしないのにな。遠慮します。
遠慮することはない。
Whoa, he's glowing. That the quality of questions we ask in life dictates the quality of answers we receive. In other words, the quality of questions we ask will influence the quality of life we lead and we live. Again, curiosity and asking better questions is a superpower. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated psychotherapist and your favorite yapper.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Welcome to my detailed psychological analysis of the Apothecary Diaries episode 10. Assassination Zero, Vinny, Greg Bosch, Foxholes Gaming, Crisco94, Jen Negre, and Wu Xiyang are the sponsor tier highlights of today's video. Shout out to the growing patron family and YouTube members. Sit back and I hope you enjoy. Who is that? Is that Master Jinshi? Drinking under the starry sky? I think that's him. I'm very excited to see what happens in today's episode because episode 9 had some of the craziest cliffhangers or murder. But my speculation was it's both, right? So we'll see how the covert operation continues to unfold and if Master Jinshi, with the help of Mao Mao, can figure out who the culprits are. I'm sure there's more than one.
水死した女官自殺だったんだってね。ザクロ級の下女だったみたい。園遊会でリーシュ様に毒を持った犯人だったって。お使いするアードーヒを持ってのことだったのかな。
Nah, not that simple.
って祝妃の？
うん。四夫人から外されて若い妃を腰入れさせるって噂だったし。
東宮時代の帝との間にできた男児を一人亡くしている。子を
Yes. Remember I talked about concubines? Yes, like I said, I corrected my pronunciation. They're just reproductive machines. They're just pumping out babies like left and right, like Oprah's giving out cars, but they're trying to give out babies, especially boys, because boys become become emperors, period. And here, I love that Mao Mao is reunited with her friends and they're having tea sessions, spilling all the teas, all the rumors, all the streets. And like I just briefly talked about in episode 9, I still think that Mao Mao does not display enough or sufficient clinical traits in terms of autism, as a lot of people have been headcanoning, and I talked a lot about that towards the end of episode 9. But again, as I talked about ASD, autism spectrum disorder is a spectrum, literally, and many people can display traits, autistic traits or otherwise, without meeting the full disorder. So that's the lens I'm looking at, and I will continue to highlight different clinical traits and behavioral traits if I see them. But please keep in mind that we need more data. And again, I do think that overall autism has been over applied because statistically it's 1 in 37 individuals are autistic, but a lot of people been self-diagnosing them with autism. It's neither here or there, but whenever like a new concept, new phenomena, psychologically or otherwise, become more mainstream through the increase of awareness and education, which is beautiful, at the same time, people as human nature, due to human nature, we like to self-diagnose, right? Who here can relate? We have a nasty cough or a headache, we start Googling, and WebMD says you have terminal stage cancer. What? I just have some nasty coughs and a headache. I have a terminal stage cancer? Same thing. Obviously, it's not that extreme, but case in point, try not to self-diagnose because even it's tricky even for experts like myself. But again, we're here just for fun. But I thought that it might be helpful for some educational purposes.
美しい花もいつかはしおれる。
Oh, poetic.
高級の花は実を結ばねば意味がない。
We're starting with some existential philosophical undertone, beautiful. As you guys know, if you're not new to my channel, I'm very philosophical. I love deep thinking. If you're new, of course, welcome. And one thing I do want to double click on is Mama said it. Nothing is guaranteed. Lady Li Hua may dwindle and lose the favor of Emperor after maybe Emperor is tired of the, that seductive technique with her sizable fruits, pun intended. My apologies. But even Lady Ryukyu, who has the favor of the Emperor currently, who successfully buried a princess, but she may lose that favor tomorrow. Nothing is guaranteed in life. I'm happily married, right? I've been with my wife for 6 years. But obviously this is an extreme example, but something might happen to our marriage. Nothing is guaranteed. After this recording, when I leave and go to my clinic for my full-time job as a forensic psychotherapist, I might get hit by a car. I might get into a car accident. I'm not being morbid. It's truly to highlight the fact, the truth, that nothing in life is guaranteed. So all we can do is all we can do. That's why I always emphasize and spotlight the importance, the utmost importance of effort. It's never about the outcome. Do not chase that uncertainty, the unknown, the unknowability of outcome. Only focus on the effort. Because like I said, we can do everything we can do everything right, air quote. Everything by the book. But at the end of the day, an illness or car accident can just wipe away everything we ever built. So when we go to sleep every single night, when our heads hit the pillows, are we proud of the way we showed up that day? Are we proud of the way we showed up with our integrity? Did we betray ourselves, or do we stand by what we think is right, who we want to become? That's the only thing that really matters.
昨日のお茶会の余りだけど。
ありがとう。
余るくらいお菓子があるなんてお茶会っていいな。
From garden party?
どうかな。
準備して。
Another very powerful highlight that talks about perception versus reality, a theme I've been talking about over and over again. To Mao Mao's friends, tea parties are awesome. All the leftover snacks, treats, food. But to Mao Mao, she understands a dark undertone. It's a competition. It is a form of work. It's almost like a beauty contest, right? It's a political arena for concubines in the rear palace to trying to ascend to the throne of an empress. So different people have different perspectives because of different circumstances. It is what it is. That's why life is so complicated. That's why we never want, of course, it's hard. It's human nature to judge people. But I want to implore all of us to try our best to never judge people prematurely, because we never know what they're going through. We never know the type of invisible suffering everyone's dealing with. Because as long as we are alive, we all have invisible struggle and suffering we are going through. And all of us are so good at and mastered the art of putting on masks.
そこに広がっている。
歓迎しますわ、リーシュヒ。ありがとう。
同性であれば身構えてしまうのが女という生き物なのだろうか。正直、帝が来る時より気を使っている。
Also, I'm sure some of you guys, when you're watching this show with my political commentary, or not commentary in terms of politics, but just spotlighting about the political aspects. Like I said, Rear Palace is a political arena for the concubines. Everything is politics. Who here can relate? I'm sure some of us said this, oh, I'm not into politics. I'm sure we all know those people that say I'm not into politics. But let me share this fact. Everything is political. Everything is politics in life. Church is politics. Politics is politics. Family is politics. Work is politics. Anywhere, any facet of life, any aspects of life, if there's relationships, if there's people, if there's human relationships and human nature, then it's political. Everything's politics. We cannot run away and avoid politics forever. And I'm not talking about politician soliciting, making public speeches, running for office. No, I'm talking about the politics of life. So the best thing we can do is learn to manage it and deal with it. We do what we gotta do to survive. But of course, for these concubines, it's a lot more exaggerated, heightened. That's what Mama was saying. Everyone's constantly probing each other's thoughts. Okay, I hear what you're saying, but what are you not saying? Often speaks more volume. It's the same thing in therapy. Sure, there's a content in the thoughts of my clients and the individuals I'm working with, but often, as a seasoned psychotherapist, we need to look out for what are they not saying? Because remember, I talked about 30% of the communication is verbal, explicit, the obvious. 70%, 70% is nonverbal, the body language, what they're not saying. And that's exactly what Mama was highlighting and commentating about concubines and how they're more wary and even more cautious. And I'm sure even more stressful than even dealing with emperors.
穏やかな会話の中で情報を引き出す玉葉様は穏やかそうに見えてやはり妃だ。
Exactly what I'm saying.
交易の中継地点らしく人や時勢の流れをつかむことが重要なんだ。
Master. That's why concubine or Lady Yurkyu is known as the wise concubine. Respect.
組み役か。ひどい罰を受けていないようでよかった。
I love the animation where they show Mao Mao's like cat ears, Mao Mao, right? Cat ears. I love it. And again, perception versus reality. Mao Mao has no malicious intent. She has no malice against the taster at the garden party. Her perception is she's absolutely petrified and terrified of Mao Mao because of Mao Mao's reputation, her assertiveness, and how astute and sharp she is. Reputation is earned. In an ideal world, I wish that every person, every human can give out respect and trust. Because we are all equal. We are all human beings. We are all part of this greater species that we call humans. But of course, in real world, there's expectations and there's reality. World is not idealized, right? Of course, we're not naive. So in the practical sense, you have to earn the respect. You have to build your reputation by earning people's respect. And Mao Mao, without a shadow of a doubt, has earned many people's respect. From making those heating stones to cracking different cases, mysteries, saving people. And obviously, as we know, even the emperor, this heavens in this world, the top highest person in this country, the ruler, even knows about Mao Mao, right? So reputation and respect is earned in the current, just human dynamic and human relationships.
他の侍女たちは明らかに主人に目がいってないな。
Oh yeah, they don't like
だ
her.
が今のところいじめをしているようには見えない。
That's good.
ガオシュン様への報告が間違いだったなら幸いなことだ。
It's not mistaken.
ものは嫌いじゃないかしら。甘いものは好きです。
Ah,
よかった。
ski desu.
寒いからこういうのはどうかなと思って。
Oh, honey.
柑橘の皮を蜂蜜で煮たものなの。お口に合うといいけど。
She doesn't like it?
おや、蜂蜜もダメなのか。
She's also allergic.
出されたものも食べられないなんて。
So again, obviously those ladies in waiting are talking shit about the young concubine again. And I noticed that there's a lot of terms and phenomena in this show because obviously the setting is built in the ancient, different hybrid and combination of dynasties in China. So they don't have the modern terms like allergies, as I talked about in earlier episodes. So to those ladies in waiting who are talking shit, they're like, oh, she's just being a picky eater. She's so not courteous. She's so disrespectful. Because in the Chinese culture or even Eastern Asian culture, when you're under someone else's roof, when you're a guest of honor, nonetheless a guest in someone else's territory and households, you eat what they serve you. That's a sign of respect. And when you don't do that, it's not a good thing to be known for, right? And that's what they're saying. You should be a picky eater again. But as Mao Mao and the modern audience know, she has allergies. And obviously you're not going to eat things that you're allergic to. Full stop. But those ladies in waiting, they're brainless, right? They need more brain cells, dude.
ピクピク。
activated. Mao Mao's about to go ham.
あらら、アイラ、ごめんなさい。もう少し漬け込んだ方がいいみたい。違うものですわね。
Oh, Mao Mao was looking out for young concubine, right? Obviously, I'm sure it was still edible and it's still very much well boiled and good to go. But Mao Mao, in her own very thoughtful, considerate way, is looking out for the young concubine. And again, she is displaying behavioral traits that contradicts autism. Mao Mao is extremely socially attuned. She's very attuned and in tune with social environments, social cues. She can pick up and she knows how to read rooms. And not able to read social signs and not able to read rooms adequately is literally one of the biggest hallmarks of autism. But of course, autism is a spectrum like I talked about. So again, Mao Mao is also displaying contradictory signs against autism. So many of you guys are so gung-ho and so certain that Mao Mao is autistic. I don't think so. But maybe she has some traits like I talked about.
生姜湯は飲めるかしら。
Nice.
大丈夫です。
残念ながらいじめは間違いではなかったらしい。
I think those servants, ladies in waiting, they're just jealous, dude. You guys wish you can be a concubine, but no, you guys are mere ladies in waitings. That's projection, psychological phenomena and defensive mechanism that I talked about. They're simply projecting their envy, their jealousy, plus, granted, they're also judging her because they feel like if your previous husband, previous emperor passed away, then you shouldn't have come back to the present emperor because it does get very sticky and very weird, right? But that's not the pure concubine's fault, right? So again, people who are very judgmental externally are often mere reflection and projection of their own internal judgments against themselves, insecurities, envy, jealousies, and so on.
おい、
She got kicked out again?
助けは
Oh. They're so thoughtful.
やるんだけど。
毒用費とリーシュ費の茶会はどうだった？
Oh, whoa.
楽しく過ごされていましたよ。
Oh!
ってないんだ。
話していただけますか。
犯人は自殺したザクロ級の下女だという話は知っているか？
噂程度には。
She's aware. She got the tea.
本当に自殺したと思うか？
それを決めるのは私ではありません。
一階の下女が特費であるリーシュ費の皿に毒を盛る理由は？
Very sharp. Jinshi is very sharp.
では明日からザクロ級に手伝いに行ってもらえないか？
もらえないかと質問されたところで選
True.
択肢などないというの
That's an
に。
order.
御意。
One thing I do want to comment, and based on a lot of people commented it without spoilers, is for me to be more hyper aware of Mao Mao's background, traumatic upbringing, of growing up in a very violent, entertainment / red light district. And I talked about this before, but again, I just want to make it explicit, and I do understand that anytime Mao Mao treats Master Jinshi as an insect, as the other Guo Shou I think he talked about, it's nothing personal or targeted against Master Jinshi. It's just her adverse and cautious and defensive stance against all men because she has seen brutality and the brutal nature of men. And in addition to that, I do know that Mao Mao's have an additional layer of apprehensive against Master Jinshi because I think she has only seen him being genuine and very sincere and not fake. When she disclosed about why she put those freckles as another safety measure. And that's when Master Jinshi gave her the hairpin. Because I do think, and I agree with many commenters who highlighted that that's when Master Jinshi saw Mao Mao as a real person. Going from maybe favorite toy, maybe just being fascinated by this tiny little maid, lady in waiting, who has the audacity and the ability to reject him. His K-pop star looking dazzling good look. And also he's in a power position, right? He's the manager of the entire Royal Palace, even someone above the matron of Royal Palace, as Mao Mao suspected. So I think those are some of the reasons why Mao Mao is treating Master Jinshi as insects. But I'm sure the dynamic will shift. And I think Master Jinshi is also understanding Mao Mao better and better. That's why Master Jinshi pivoted, going from this intellectual curiosity, trying to gauge Mao Mao's speculation and intellectual deductions, to, okay, it's not working, let me switch. Let me make a power move by ordering you to spend more time at that pavilion so she can collect more data, collect more information. Because Master Jinshi knows that Mao Mao will speak up about her speculation and deductions when she gathers more evidence. Because Mao Mao's father, Mr. Miyagi looking dude, always instilled the belief and approach that never speak up, never surmise carelessly unless you have enough data. And I do the same thing clinically, as I often say on the show. I need more data. I don't have enough information yet.
いきなり来てもらってごめんなさい。今日から3日間よろしくお願いね。
3 days?
人士様には何をしろとも言われていない。とりあえず働くか。
Master Jinshi just wants you to be an ear, a fly on the wall, figuratively speaking, pun intended, to just collect more data.
フォンミン、その娘たちは大掃除のお手伝いに。そう。
Whoa, she sounds so mature.
アードー妃、
Age 35?
華やかさや豊満さはないが、中世。
Yeah,
着れ
wow.
ば若い文官とでも間違えそうだ。妃の大袖とスカートより幸福の。
Yeah, I got goosebumps. She looks badass. She's kind of giving me some Violet Evergarden vibe. You know what I'm talking about? Right? Obviously, not spoilers, but anyone that's seen Violet Evergarden series, which I also finished right here, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's one of my favorite series as a veteran myself. Violet Evergarden, she looks so well put when she dresses up as a doll. But then obviously when she's badass. I'll just stop there. But she has a similar vibe. Aww.
憧れの眼差し。
She's cool. She's just very cool.
誰かに似ているような。
Master Jinshi? I think she's talking about Master Jinshi. Purple hair?
次女頭のフォンミン様。
Yep.
祝妃の次女頭ともなれ。しみやすい。
まずは書物の虫干しをお願いできるかしら。
That's interesting. You guys might have glossed out from the very simple observation by Mao Mao. Because remember, Mao Mao is a math scientist. She's obsessive over details. So she's very observational. She's very observant. So she's like, oh, as a Feng Ming, as the head lady in waiting, she thought she would be from like a family of importance, but she's surprisingly approachable. I think every head lady in waitings kind of represents the personalities of the concubines they represent. So the fact that Feng Ming is surprisingly approachable, I think that indicates and maybe foreshadows the surprisingly approachable personality of the concubine, Ado, I think, that she represents. So it's very important, right? Because they're the head lady in waiting. So they're like the poster child. They're the face of the concubines. That's also politics, but it makes sense. You want the team leader from your team to represent your brand, who you are, your personality, and so on. In addition to they want to get along really well. Feng Ming does give the vibe of like a very friendly neighborhood auntie.
上級妃一の古株。無駄のない屋敷に見えて格段に荷物が多い。
They have to.
だけの奴らに見せてやりたい。
Aw, hard worker.
応接室の方も手伝ってもらえる？
はい。次女頭として人を扱う術を心得ているようだ。
That means Feng Ming is a great manager because that's what head ladies and waitings are. They're the team manager, right? Or team lead. And one thing I just want to talk about is I want to distinguish the difference between leader and leadership. Leadership is given based on your years of service after you get promoted, X, Y, and Z. But not every person with a leadership is a leader. To be a leader requires charisma, management skills. Just because you're good with KPIs, key performance indexes, which is what a lot of supervisors and managers care about based on corporate performance evaluations and so on. Just because you're good at KPIs and all those performance or performative metrics doesn't mean you're a good manager. Does not mean you know how to manage humans, relationship building, feedback, coaching, mentorship. But sounds like Mao Mao is saying that Feng Ming is a true leader, not just at the head lady in waiting with leadership bestowed upon her based on her years in service, but rather someone who's actually a competent leader, who knows how to praise people, recognize people's strength, very approachable, very observant, and very smart. Again, I think Feng Ming is a reflection of the concubine that she represents.
お疲れ様。今日はありがとうね。
Dang!
いえ、
そうだ、今夜はザクロ級
Worked
に泊ま
all
って
day.
いくわよね。ちょっとついてきて。
甘い匂い。
よければ使ってちょうだい。今夜は冷えるから。
ありがとうございます。
Oh, something's gonna happen. I could feel the vibe. Something's about to go down. I could feel it. I think Mao Mao covered her head with the whatever those wool blanket is. I think she kind of knows why Master Jinshi sends her here. Again, to be a fly on the wall, to observe and collect data with that suspicion of who truly murdered that lady in waiting, that servant, and who wanted to poison the concubine. And I think she knew that. And she's trying to combat and suppress her intellectual curiosity because, as we know, Mao Mao is super curious. And someone commented in episode 5 that be cautious with curiosity because curiosity killed a cat. But as I also responded to that comment, the full saying is curiosity killed a cat, but the satisfaction brought it back. You can never go wrong with being curious. Curiosity is a superpower. And I think Mao Mao is trying to suppress her curiosity. But again, Mao Mao, that your curiosity is what makes you you. It's what makes you so competent and shine like a diamond. So I'm sure she's gonna eventually give in to her curiosity as she always does.
本当に毒殺騒ぎの黒幕がいるのだろうか。
It's a slow start to the episode thus far.
それともアードー妃に生涯尽くすことを選んだのか。忠
That
誠心
loyalty.
の強さはアードー妃だ。だが先に他の席が開けば熟れた果実にしか反応し考えれば望ましいことだが
Yo, shout out to the Emperor. I still don't know his name, but Emperor, I respect you for not being a pedophile. I respect you for only interested in ripened fruits. Again, the euphemism in the show is wild. But Emperor, I respect you for not being a pedophile and not visiting Lady Lihu, who's only 14. Amazing. And I know many people just say the Emperor is a good man. And I also caution against everyone, please avoid any spoilers. Let me make my own judgments based on my first watch experience. But I do want to highlight this from what Mao Mao saying that I respect you, Emperor, for not visiting the 14-year-old concubine, because that is twisted.
としての役割を果たしていないとも言える。アードー妃のために毒殺を目論んだとしてはない。
See, she's deducing already.
蜂蜜？
フォンミン様のご実家が養蜂場をなさっているの。
通りで高級品の蜂蜜がこんなに
Oh,
あ
that's
るわけです
amazing.
ね。昨夜の甘い匂いは蜜蝋だったのか。リーシュ様？連れは毒味役一人だけか。どうしてザクロ級に？そういえばお茶会で。
This is a complete baseless guess out of the park. There's a specific type of honey. It's called mad honey. Definition right here. It's from some of the South American countries, right? I think Peru is also known for mad honey. Mad honey is known for making you hallucinate, right? And then if you digest it in a considerable amount, it is indeed poisonous, right? Because the reason why mad honey it can induce hallucination is through food poisoning, through like your stomach enzymes and microbiomes and so on, different chemical reactions. Again, I'm not a GI doctor or a chemist for that matter, But I wonder if that concubine, the young concubine, had some sort of a very, very negative or adversarial experience with mad honey. Because like I said, mad honey causes hallucination, makes you lose your balance, and it is a poison if you digest a lot. So again, complete baseless guess, but I wonder if mad honey is going to come up and as a relevant theme in this episode, given honey keeps showing up over and over again.
ザクロ宮での出来事です。
Oh, honey, nice.
それで
それ以上でも以下でもありませんが、何を求めているのか知らないが、こちらは普通の薬屋だ。スパイの真似事などできるわけない。最近態度が軽くないか？
So cash.
もし特別な方法で外部と連絡を取れるとすれば誰だと思う？
嫌な聞き方をする。可能性があるとすれば、次女頭のフォンミン様ではないかと。
根拠は？
左の手首に包帯が巻かれていました。まれていたそうです。
Dude, how? I know I talked about Mama is very observative, but dude, I didn't see that. I don't know if they showed that in the anime also. One quick thing I will say before resuming is Master Jinshi said, let's switch up the question then. I firmly believe that the quality of questions we ask in life dictates the quality of answers we receive. In other words, the quality of questions we ask will influence the quality of life we lead and we live. Again, curiosity and asking better questions is a superpower.
正直、
Amho.
あの穏やかな次女頭が何かをやっているようには。
So Amho, that was Japanese for code. Amho is also the same for code or secret code in Korean. Amho. Again, I know kanji in Japanese and Korean, there's a lot of similarities and some overlaps. Very cool.
そんなものは主観に過ぎない。
Good enough.
まあ旧大点だな。
これ見よがしに蜂蜜を食べておいて、この程度は調べていただろうに。
Ostentatiously. Oh.
いい子にはご褒美をあげないとね。
遠慮します。
遠慮することはない。
Whoa, he's glowing. Mama turned into a full cat mode. Zah! Ah, pervert.
ガオシュン様
Master Gaoshin is looking elsewhere like, oh, wow. What a beautiful day out. Oh, wait, someone talking to me? I don't hear I hear nothing. I'm not here. I am dead.
好きなので。
だが食べられるんだろう。
くそ。決定。ないものは蹴っても仕方ない。入れと割り切るか。
Nah, she stopped.
せめてトリカブトの蜜なら割り切れたのに。
Oh,
甘いものは。
I love the animation style too.
フォンミン様のご実家が養蜂場をなさっているの。
リーシュさん。
Is filming really the culprit?
蜜。蜂蜜。
Bingo.
薬よ。
うちの次女に何をしているの？
玉葉妃。
誰の許可を得てこんなこと？
シャオも
Oh.
ついいたずらが過ぎただけなのでジンシ様を許してくださいませんか。
Yeah, it's a prank.
では次はガオシュン様が眠れば問題ない。
眠るそれ
わかればいいです。
I'm dead.
いくつか確かめたいことがあるのですが。
Also, Lady Yurikyu is so nice. She's so maternal. I know some people said that Lady Yukyu is only like a few years older than Mao Mao because age is hard to decipher with obviously animation and all that. But she's so protective. It's amazing. Wow. shout out to Lady Yokyu. You're a great boss. You're a great concubine. You're amazing. Truly, truly lovely, maternal of a person. And obviously, she's literally a mom.
いらっしゃいま。あら、ジンシ様はい
She's disappointed.
翡翠宮の次女が何の用かしら。
お伺いしたいことがあります。顔に出ていま
It's
す。
so obvious.
昔蜂蜜でお腹を壊したことが食中毒になっ
Oh.
違うわ。覚えていないの。赤子の頃のことだから。
Hmm. Oh.
食べるなと言われていて。
Allergy.
あなた失礼じゃなくてリーシュ様につけつけと
Oh, shut up, bro. You guys are bullies. Gosh, you guys are the worst. Fake.
お茶会でかばいもしなかった次女がよく言う。
Yup. Bingo.
その目あんな次女の話なんて聞くことありません
Bro, shut up.
こうして外部のものを悪役に仕立て自分たちだけが味方と思い込ま
Ah.
せる。世間知らずなお嬢様ならやすやすと騙されるだ
This
ろう。
is all an act.
孤立した妃は次女たちに頼らざるを得ない。
Hmm.
いじめられていることにすら気づかず
The other one knows.
悪循環だ。私は命を受けてここに来ました。言いたいことがあれば人士様に直接どうぞ。
Nice.
くらいくらいの嫌がらせは許
Bro, they're the worst, man. These ladies in wedding are the almost cussed effing worst, man. Fake. It's all pretentious act to corner the pure concubine so that she has no one else to rely besides them. But these insiders, these guardians and protectors are the actual bullies, right?
何を理由にこの次女たちが変態宦官に近づくか楽しみだ。それともう一つだけ。
So tiring, politics.
ザクロ級の次女頭フォンミン様と面識はありますか？
She knows. Do you see the face that the young concubine just made? That's a trauma response, right? Definition right here. It's almost like a PTSD response, post-traumatic stress disorder response. When she made that face, I'm sure she had a flashback, which didn't show in the anime, but had a flashback about what happens. Sounds like Lady Feng Ming did something to the young concubine, and she brought back the flashback, the traumatic memory of what happened between them. So that face you made is a trauma response. Something probably significant happens. More cliffhangers.
高級の昔の出来事を知る方法はありますか？
Yep, something happened in the past.
宮廷の書庫を探しましょう。
Mao sounds lower, more low, more somber. Is because I think she's making dots. And she does know that sounds like Feng Ming did something. And it kind of makes sense actually. Because again, maybe Feng Ming is not the culprit. And maybe I'm jumping the gun. But so far, based on the data and based on the clues that's been established in the episode, I'm actually viewing Feng Ming's niceness, approachable nature. Because remember what Mao said earlier. She's like, Feng Ming is surprisingly approachable. Given she's the head lady in waiting from a family of importance. I think she said that was planting seed and foreshadowing that it's surprising because something is off, something is fake. Feng Ming maybe is overcompensating. Definition right here. Overcompensating is actually yet another defensive mechanism that maybe people do to cover up their true intention by doing something really nice, almost overly nice, overly friendly. What kind of head lady in waiting cleans up the pillars and do the dirty jobs of what other maids should be doing, right? She's so approachable. She's almost too nice, too friendly. And when someone is suspiciously nice and suspiciously friendly, it is suspicious. Something is off. So of course I could be wrong, but so far based on the clues that Mao's deducing so far and gathering, I think Feng Ming is probably the culprit. And she is overcompensating her maybe something underlying her true insidious intent by being overly nice. So anyone that deals with Feng Ming, they're like, oh, there's no way it's Feng Ming. She's too nice. She's too friendly. No, She's not malicious. It can be her. It's anyone but her. You guys see that? It's such a brilliant way for suspicious people to cover up their tracks by creating this facade, this fakeness, the mask that I talked about. And I think Mama was gathering
今
that.
度は一体何が分かったのか。
Yep.
賢い娘だ。弱い17とは思えない。
Oh, age is
知識の
revealed.
深さと冷静さ。
She's
理
17.
性的に物事を考え処理する能力。 一部
Exceptionally
変わったとこ
impressive.
ろはあるが、目を見張るものがある。
Peculiarities. I'm dead.
アードーヒとの間に男児を一人設けている。すでに死亡しているが。の弟君と同じ時期、東宮時代の子はその一人だけ。あるので、アードーヒに愛着があるのはわかるが、あの公職親父がアードーヒ一人だけとは言う。取り上げたの。
What?
なんとなくそんな気がしていた。
What's the hunch?
誰かが移植したものだろう。老婆のような足を引きずる男。片足の膝の骨を抜かれた元宦官。
Bro! I fucking called this. Excuse my French. Yo, did I not call this in the earlier episode? I said the freaking Mr. Miyagi looking dude, Mao Mao's father, or sounds like adoptive father, whoever he is, was the real palace or palace physician. Yo! He was a physician. That's why he's overqualified. He's so knowledgeable. That's why it's the same herbs and plants that Mama grew up around her were the same plants and herbs from Real Palace. I called this, guys. Yo. Wow, sorry. Let me calm down. I'm really proud of myself. I love making predictions, especially whoa. Whew, okay. All right, let me calm down.
やってんだよ、
Wow.
親父。
Wow. Yo, let's go. Wow. Dude, Apothecary Diaries have some of the craziest cliffhangers. Anyway, enough said. As always, if you enjoy my in-depth analysis, smash that thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss my next video or the next series I'm covering. And as always, share one thing you're taking away from my video. Did you learn something new? Or did I reinforce something you already know of? Right? I'll always follow up and I try to read all the comments. And I appreciate you guys seriously for tuning in week after week. And as always, I hope you enjoyed my analysis for today's video. Until next time, peace.